So, wir werden live. Hi Dennis, hi Gabriel, hi Kun, hi Angelico team. Yeah. I'll start in English right now. It's easier. I also have to change. Before Adam's coming online, I just want to say thanks to Christopher and Mandy for organizing this live stream or helping to organize it. And of course, a special thank you to Angelico team, which is already online here, for supporting this stream, which is very cool. Thank you very much for that. And Adam is already online. That's good. So I'll add him. Or before I'm adding him, one quick note. We're quite limited on time, so we won't take any questions that are posed in the chat. So let's start.
But yeah.
Nee.
Good.
Hi Adam.
Hey, how are you today?
Very well, very well. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. I first want to say thanks for taking the time to speak with us today. And seeing that you're one of our highest profile guests that we ever had, we like to start with a very hard-hitting question. Are you ready? Okay.
Yes, let's go.
Okay. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. Okay. Do you have pets?
Yes.
What pets do you have?
I have a puppy who's just turned 1 year old, and his name is Thomas.
Thomas. That's a special name for a dog.
Yeah,
Well,
it suits him.
in Switzerland. Okay.
I can show you a picture of him. It suits him. He looks like an old scientist.
An old scientist.
Yeah.
That's a special look for a dog. Yeah.
I'm telling you, look at him.
I will.
Do you have pets?
I have quite a lot of pets. We have rabbits, we have birds, cats, dogs. It's everything.
Oh, you got a whole little zoo going on.
Yeah. So,
Very cool. I like that. It's really cool.
So, a little question before we really start. Do you know what this live stream is? So.
No, I honestly don't.
Okay.
It's the first time for me, so
Okay.
please explain. Introduce me.
It's no problem. We know you have a busy schedule. Our stream, we have asked our fans to send in questions that I'm going to ask you. So
Okay.
questions might be a bit weird or whatever, but yeah. Okay, let's get into it. And the first question is always the same. How did you get into wrestling?
It's the same story I tell every time, but it was just as a child. The WWF came to South Africa on a live tour, and my grandmother took me to see this live event when I was about 5, 6 years old, and that was just the first time I got to experience professional wrestling and see it in all its glory, because I experienced it live for the first time. And then obviously from there, I became completely fascinated by it, and I'd look for it on TV and videotapes and all these things. But that one live event was my true first experience with it, the one that at least that I remember.
Yeah. Okay. But you started wrestling in Mexico, right? Or did you start in South Africa?
Yeah. Sorry, I started training in South Africa.
Okay.
I thought you were asking way back to when I first knew about wrestling.
Oh, yeah. I asked that. That was a follow-up question. Sorry.
Okay.
Is there a wrestling scene in South Africa?
There is a little wrestling scene there. It's not as big as maybe the other independent scenes around the world, like Europe, or America. But there's definitely wrestling going on there. They have their wrestling schools, and it's definitely grown a little bit since when I started there. 14 years ago. So yeah, it's on the way up, I hope.
Oh, that's good to hear. More
Yeah.
wrestling is never a bad thing.
No,
So
we need it.
Yeah. Yeah, another question that came is one of the reasons you're known around the world is because of your work in Lucha Underground. How has that influenced your time on the independent scene?
I think it just gave me a platform to be seen by all the independent companies and a lot of wrestling fans around the world. So just by being on that bigger platform at the time, it gave me the opportunity to be seen by more fans around the world. And then thankfully, a lot of those independent companies were inviting me to their live shows, and just, you know, slowly but surely, I just started working more and more in Europe and on the independents over there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it definitely started from that push though, from Lucha.
Yeah, because I remember you told us once that everybody is expecting you to do those crazy stunts.
Yeah, every
Yeah.
first show I got booked on, the first expectation was that the promoters were trying to show me like a high balcony that they had set up near the ring. But that was, you know, those were one-off special moments that, you know, I can't repeat every night of the week.
Yeah, understandable. I mean, yeah, you want to wrestle more than 1 year, so.
Exactly,
Yeah.
you understand.
And yeah, of course, many questions were about the SWE and All Elite Wrestling as well. But let's start with SWE. What was your favorite match that you had in SWE? It's always a tough one.
Probably my one-on-one versus Matt Cross.
Oh, that was a good one.
Yeah, just I hadn't seen him in a long time. He's one of my best friends in wrestling in the world. So it was just a great experience just to see him again and just tell stories and have to work together that night. And I just remember the crowd was just so enthusiastic for our match, and yeah, we just really enjoyed ourselves out there, and yeah, I just have a really fond memory of that match.
Yeah, you won the King of Switzerland title, I believe.
Yes, yes, I did.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, about that, there was a question as well. Yeah, what meant the King of Switzerland title to you? Sorry.
At the time, it meant a lot because I just left Mexico after being there for so many years. So to get to Europe and to quickly establish myself as a champion on the independent scene there, it was very important to my career at that time. So yeah, I always remember that title very fondly as being one of the first independent titles that I got once I'd left Mexico and tried to re-establish myself.
Okay. Yeah, I checked on the internet. I believe the King of Switzerland title is your longest title reign as a singles competitor.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we're proud to have that.
Yeah, it's cool. Thank you. Yeah. I'm proud too.
And yeah, your thoughts about Switzerland in general was also a question. Like,
as my experience in the country.
Yeah.
Oh, I always had the best time in Switzerland. Stefan always takes such good care of us, and the places we'd stay, I'd always come for extra days as well. I brought my partner with me there to come see a show, and we went all around Switzerland for a few days, and I love it. It's one of the most beautiful countries in the world.
Yeah, that's definitely beautiful.
I'm very jealous of you all being there right now.
Yeah, he's coming right now, actually.
There he is.
How are you doing?
Hey, Stefan. Good to see you.
Good to see you too. We always have a little running gag here in this show that I'm coming in for some minutes and sharing some funny moments out of the past with our guest.
Okay.
And, you gave already the point that you went to Switzerland for a couple of days. You brought your girlfriend and we did some sightseeing. And I remember it was also before your great match against Matt Cross. We went with a cable car on top of a mountain. We did some hiking over there, and there was the possibility to go downhill with a scooter. And it was
That's right.
It was quite dangerous. We had the idea to shoot a small video, and we want to film that you that you conquer Matt Cross. And I was going downhill, let's say for 500-600 meters, and then you came up full speed. I think it was about 30 miles on a wet road, really downhill on the road, and you were screaming in the video, "Matt Cross, I'm coming for you!" That was our most viewed and most clicked video we ever had.
Oh, really?
I remember that video so well. But
It was awesome.
You're not saying the whole story, because you went. If I went 30 miles per hour, Stefan, you went down that hill at about 60 miles per hour. If anyone was not going to walk off the mountain, that was you. You were flying down that thing. I could have believed it. I was still using the brakes a little bit. You were going, no brakes, hands free, hair blowing in the wind. No, I remember that day well. That was a good time.
It was a fun day.
It was, it really was.
Yeah, sadly you lost all your hair.
Yeah, that's why. It was going too fast down the hill.
True, true.
And the second running gag we have on our show is that we drink something and we cheer up our guest. So Adam,
Okay.
this is going for you.
Thank you for taking the
Fun
time.
in the video and in the internet stream.
Thank you. It's a bit early in the day for me, but enjoy yourselves.
Of course. In Switzerland, it's beginning of the night, so it's quite something.
Of
And
course,
hope
of course.
we see you soon back in Switzerland.
Yes, of course. I can't wait to come back. I can't wait to come back.
So have fun.
Thank you. Good to see you, Stefan.
Yeah, what's the time where you are at the moment?
It's just after 2 p.m. something. Yeah, 2:15.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's. I was scared that it was like early in the morning that we had forced you out of the bed for us. So that's good.
Oh, it's early in Jacksonville, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, good. Yeah. Yeah. Let's continue because our time is limited. There was also a question. What are your thoughts about the Swiss fans? Are there differences to the other countries that you travel to?
No, I wouldn't say different, but definitely they're great fans. You know, if I had to really, honestly talk about Swiss fans, I'd say they're very, very good, enthusiastic fans. They go to the show to be a part of the show, to enjoy the show. They're not going just to sit on their hands or to make fun of the event. They're ready, become part of the event, and that's what wrestling is. So, and every event. So that's actually, I have the fondest of memories of wrestling in Switzerland.
Yeah, that's true. I'm always amazed at what our fans are doing. So yeah. By the way, if you hear weird noises in the background, that's the dog drinking water. So no worries.
Okay. What's his name?
What?
What's the dog's name?
Barry.
Barry. You thought Thomas was funny. Barry, dog.
I didn't choose the name. I'm innocent.
All right.
So yeah, let's move on a bit from SWE, and you're working All Elite. The first question was, what are the differences between wrestling on TV and on the independent scene?
The main difference would probably just be the tightness of the time and the schedule. On the independent scene, you've got a lot more play with how much time you can have in the match and with your performance. And with TV, it's scheduled programming, so it's a much more strict format. So I'd say that's the only difference. At the end of the day, the day you're still just performing, your style, your match. But yeah, the etiquette of time definitely changes.
Yeah, follow-up question to that. How hard is it during the COVID-19 crisis? How hard is it to wrestle without any fans in attendance?
Yeah, it's bad. The audience is so fundamentally important to a wrestling show. They're literally the third person in the match. The audience is the reason we do everything that we're doing in the ring. Not to mention the emotional energy you get from the audience and that adrenaline that you have in your body that you need to perform at the highest level. So not having that, I can honestly say I miss it a lot, and you feel it every time we go out there and the audience isn't there. You feel the difference.
Yeah. I mean, I remember like when we had shows. I mean, there were like seconds that nobody was screaming anything from the fans, and it felt uncomfortable there. But I can't imagine putting on a whole show without any reaction whatsoever. So
yeah, it's hard, but you know, you have to do the best that you can do in the times, and that's just what everyone's just trying to do.
yeah, so huge respect to you and All Elite Wrestling for pulling it off quite.
Yeah, thank you. The team's done an incredible job.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and still with AEW, how does it feel to work with all these veterans and childhood heroes from of yours?
Yeah, it's been a great experience. Especially as I can say, they've all been, you know, so humble and kind and helpful. So it's obviously it's been a 100% positive experience. Meeting all of them, being able to work with all of them. Yeah, every day you learn something new. It's really great.
Yeah, and what was your favorite match, if I may ask?
Maybe either mine and Jack's match against the Young Bucks, or my one-on-one match with Frankie Kazarian. Just because he's a very technical wrestler, so and obviously, you know, that's my favorite type of wrestling. So probably between those two matches, I'd say at the moment, but definitely the best is yet to come.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
I promise.
Good to hear. Now, the tag team match between you and Jack Evans and the Bucks was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I can imagine. And yeah, what's the difference between working in a huge arena in front of thousands of fans or working in like a smaller venue like in Switzerland? Well, at the moment but before COVID.
Yeah, there is a difference. I think just the intimacy of the performance is what you feel the difference. But in terms of what you're actually doing out there and trying to portray to the fans, I think that's the same, whether it's in a small arena or a big arena. So yeah, it's just obviously the more fans, the more people in the building, the more energy, the more you can kind of feel the cheers and the roars and the boos. But then on the other hand, when you're in smaller arenas, you can feel much more intimate because you can feel like you can see every person that's there. And so yeah, they're just different. Both great in their own way, I'd say. I enjoy performing as much in a huge arena as in a small one.
One question to like the smaller arenas still. When you're jumping out of the ring or somebody's jumping out of the ring, because I always wondered about that. Are you scared that you're hurting the fans when like they're not moving out of the way quickly enough?
No, I'm not too worried about it. I think at least from my perspective, I've got enough control over my body and what I'm doing. I wouldn't attempt something if I didn't think I could not hit it 10 out of 10 times and not hurt the audience. So yeah, and it's always about keeping them safe, especially the ones in the front rows. But yeah, my personal experience, I think it's I know when and when not to go for it.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen some scary stuff in the indies. These moves.
Sometimes the crowd just love it, and they're there to get dived on with the guys. You know, it all depends on the type of audience. If it's a family audience, adult audience, it depends on the show.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you said you have much experience. I mean, you're active for 14 years, I believe. 2007.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be my 14th year.
What are your plans for the future in the business?
Just to keep improving every year. I still don't believe I've hit my prime. I don't feel like I'm the best possible professional wrestler that I can be yet. So just every year, just to keep improving little by little, making those steps to eventually achieve that goal of just being, you know, the best performer that I can possibly be. So there's no time frame on it, but there's just a constant work ethic behind it.
Yeah, I mean, I know, I remember because I didn't know you before you performed for SWE. I've seen some of your work in Lucha Underground, and I was so amazed, like, how good of a technical wrestler you are, because I didn't
Thank you.
follow Lucha Underground that much, so I knew your crazy stuff, your crazy stunts that you did. But then you just showed these, yeah, those submission moves, all these technical things. How did you learn that?
So that's always been my favorite style of wrestling. And from even my first times in wrestling school and my first years in wrestling, whenever I met a more experienced wrestler, I'd always ask him, do you know any submissions that you can show me? Like I'd meet people like when I was in South Africa, like Joe Legend, the first time I met him. And he was so kind to let me film him showing me all these different submissions. And then I just built on that. And then I was so lucky that when I went to Ultimo Dragon School in Mexico City, the head trainer was Negro Navarro. And I didn't know much about him at the time. But in Mexico, he's a Lucha Libre legend. He's one of the greatest technical wrestlers in the history of professional wrestling. He's a pure submission expert. So then for me, it was like the perfect teacher. It was the best teacher I could have ever dreamt of, you know? And he had a book of just hundreds and hundreds of submissions written down in a book. And in training, we'd just go through the list of submissions and we'd just learn them. And then I got my own book and I'd write them down and they'd start becoming tens and then hundreds of submissions. And then that book, I started taking pictures of the submissions. So now I have like a photo library, like this big, a stack of photos of every submission that he taught me. And then I'm always trying to evolve new ones as well. So it's just, that's just my passion inside of wrestling is technical wrestling and different submissions.
I never heard of a wrestler having a whole photo album of submission moves. That's a new one. Do you have a favorite submission?
Yeah, the Navarro death roll, what I'm currently using as my finisher right now. It's like a twisting knee breaking ankle lock. That's Negro Navarro's. He invented it, and that's his famed submission maneuver in Mexico. So in homage to him, I'm using that now on the world scene.
Yeah, that one looks crazy. I don't know how you hit that one. Yeah. And it looks painful.
It's great. It's the best. I love it.
Yeah, so we're sadly done with wrestling questions, much as I can see, but we have some questions just about general questions. What's the greatest sport for you next to wrestling?
MotoGP.
MotoGP?
Yes, 100%. Motorbike racing, yeah.
Yeah, but what's your favorite driver?
Oh, Valentino Rossi.
That's the right answer.
The doctor, 100%.
Yeah, he had a crazy accident, didn't he, last season?
No, that was Marc Marquez.
Okay, right, yeah. Yeah. Next question. Did you ever get an offer to act in a movie?
No, nothing like that ever.
Do you have any ambition to go into the movie business?
No.
No, okay. Because I thought you had like quite a lot of experience thanks to Lucha Underground. It was kind of cinematic. But
the experience is there, but and it was fun, but it's just nothing that's ever been a passion of mine or anything that I've, thought of pursuing.
Okay. Sorry, there is no way to transition between these questions that I still have left. Okay. Do you think you could win Ninja Warriors?
Like honestly, I don't think so. I haven't really seen it like the full course, but being realistic, I don't know. If I could train for it for like 6 months to a year, or even 3 months, if I could just train for it for 3 months, like specifically for that course, maybe.
Yeah, that stuff looks crazy. So
yeah, I don't want to say it because I haven't seen the final levels. I don't know if some things are just like humanly impossible. But but if you dedicate yourself and you train for something specifically, you'll be surprised what your body can do. So we'll leave that as a maybe.
Yeah, I believe Mac Cross tried it once, and
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he was great at it. So yeah.
Yeah, he would be. He would be.
Yeah, right.
Actually,
Because
I can, but never mind.
yeah, because Mac Cross told us he had gymnastics as a background. Do you have any background before wrestling that helped you in the ring?
I've always, trained in different things throughout my whole life, but never like Matt was a very high level gymnast. I'd never done another sport to that level, but I'd definitely done a lot of different things, a lot of different sports. Always trying to play different sports and learn different skills, but nothing like that. No.
What are your favorite books or movies?
Favorite books? The Nelson Mandela biography is very good. The Sapiens book is actually really, really great. So probably those two books for the moment, just because I've recently read them, so they're fresh in my mind, and they were really good reads. And then movies, my favorite movie is probably Blow with Johnny Depp and Penelope Cruz.
Do I know this? I believe I don't know.
Ooh, true story, best true story ever.
Okay, I need to write that down then.
That's great.
Yeah, and a question kind of connected to wrestling. You were born in Johannesburg, South Africa, lived in Spain, started your career in Mexico. Now you're working in the US. Where exactly do you feel home?
Honestly, home feels at Spain at the moment because that's just where my parents are. That's where we moved, me and my sister with my parents when I was 18. So that honestly feels home base at the moment. South Africa still feels like my birthplace home, my childhood home, but definitely Spain is my home base, even though I've lived there the least time over the last 15 years.
Mm-hmm. How long did you live in South Africa?
10 years. 10 years in South Africa, 8 years in England, 9 years in Mexico. I guess 3 or 4 in Spain now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you lived in England. I just
knew
you lived in Spain.
We moved from South Africa to England, and then I did like high school, secondary school in England, so till I was 18, and then from when I was 18, we moved to Spain.
Okay, cool.
So I have a bit of a British accent.
Yeah, you lived everywhere in that case. But yeah, I thought you had an accent, but I didn't know if it was like a South African accent because they talk English there as well, right?
Yeah, yes, of course. No, my accent is probably more British than anything.
Okay. So yeah, we're done with the questions of our fans, but we always have a quick fire round at the end, like with 10 questions.
Okay.
Where you just have to choose one or the other. Normally, the people that come on like AEW or WWE, but I don't think I have to ask this one here.
Pretty obvious.
Yeah. So let's dive right in with singles or tag team wrestling.
Tag team.
Tag team, okay. Your dream opponent.
Right now, Phoenix.
Oh yeah, he has a great run at the moment. Well, he was always great, but yeah,
he's incredible.
Vacation on the beach or in the mountains?
At the beach.
You won't make friends with that in Switzerland.
No, it's a hard choice. To me, honestly, it's both. Actually, if I could choose both, I would because I enjoy them both the same.
Wrestling in the 90s or today?
Today.
Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram?
None.
None?
Yeah.
You aren't active on those platforms?
I'm on them all, but I don't enjoy any of them.
Just for work then?
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you answered this question already, basically, but Spain or Mexico?
Oh, sorry about that. No, I couldn't choose because both countries have been very important in my life. So I respect both countries the same, actually.
No, no, no.
Both are very significant to me.
Yeah, because you see, we ask the hard-hitting questions here.
Yeah, there you go. That was one.
Yeah. AEW World Championship, TNT Championship, or AEW World Tag Team Championship?
Tag team. First things first.
True, true. And AEW has the best tag team scene, so
100%. It's a huge goal to be to be the tag team since, yeah.
Yeah. This question you also answered before, but it's a question of fan. Which style do you like more, high flying or technical?
Again, I enjoy them both. I really do. That both are my favorite two styles, but technical slightly nudges out high flying.
Okay. Favorite place you've traveled to in your career?
Ooh, Morocco, probably.
For wrestling, is there?
For wrestling, Japan.
Oh, nice. You just went on vacation in Morocco then? Went to see the mountains?
We went, we went all the way from Marrakesh down to the Sahara, all through the mountains. So, an incredible place, incredible culture, incredible people.
Okay. Yeah, I never was there, sadly.
I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful place to experience.
Okay. Need to go there then when this pandemic is over.
Exactly.
I'll drop in a question from the chat. Penta or Phoenix? There are even those questions.
Yeah, these questions are really hard hitting. It's impossible. Both of them. I've known both of them since 10 years ago when we were wrestling on dirt floor arenas in Mexico. So they're like brothers to me, both of those guys. Impossible to decide.
Okay, and the most hard-hitting question at the end: cats or dogs?
At the moment, dogs, I guess, just because I have one. But cats are cool too.
Okay, and we're basically finished, but we always have one last question.
Yeah.
All our guests, and it is: how would you explain wrestling to someone who has never seen or heard about it?
Like I have to describe like what they're going to experience, or what I'm trying to do, or what it is.
Yeah, what it is, or what an experience it is.
It's one of the greatest spectacles and shows and forms of entertainment that exist in the world. It's been going on for actually, almost hundreds of years now to its first times it started. It's been entertaining people since the times of the gladiators. It's like the modern day version of that. It's a live, hard-hitting action right in front of your eyes. It's emotion that you can feel. It's a truly unique experience. And obviously I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that's a brilliant description. So yeah, we're at the end. We want to thank. Yeah, I know Stefan. he's holding up like a teleprompter for me because we wanted to thank again. Well, first off, you for taking the time because we know
it's been my pleasure. Thank you guys. It's really been great.
Yeah, and then thanks to Christopher and Mandy for helping organizing this live stream, and the official Angelico fan club, Angelico team for the support of this stream. It was a pleasure to talk to you. It was,
pleasure's mine.
Really cool, really cool. And we hope we can see you soon in Switzerland again. And until then, I'll see you every Wednesday on TNT.
Thank you. You did it for me.
Any last words?
Nothing. It's been a great experience. I wish you guys all the best, and can't wait to see you all in person again sometime soon.
Okay. Thank you very much, and have a nice day, not evening. That's wrong.
Afternoon.
So bye.
Thank you. Bye.